Hello, everyone. Dr. Frankie here again on Thursday, and we're going to talk all about voyeurism today. But before we jump into that topic, I want to encourage you to subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram. It's Dr. Frankie Bashan, and you can find me on TikTok, also Dr. Frankie Bashan. And if you'd like to learn more about matchmaking and about coaching, and I do sex therapy as well. I'm a psychologist and a board certified sex therapist and all that good stuff. So if you want to learn more about that and those services, please visit littlegaybook.com, littleblackbookmatchmaking.com. And yeah, thanks so much for joining me again today. And let's just jump into the topic, all about voyeurism. For better or for worse, most of us are being watched in some form or another at this point in our shared digital life, whether we like it or not. Our clicks and our preferences are registered by our internet service providers and the algorithms. We're on CCTV in stores and on streets, and your conversation is being recorded when you call for tech support. Before any of this, though, there was already another way that watching and being watched played a role in some people's lives. And people who like watching others in a sexual context or like other people watching them are considered, it's voyeurism. Voyeurism is still a big part of a desire profile for many people, and technology has made it all even more dynamic and complicated, of course. What is voyeurism all about, and what does practicing it look like in our era? In simple terms, voyeurism means getting off on watching somebody else in a sexual context. Sometimes voyeurism can be invoked with connotations of non-consensual watching, but that doesn't have to be the case. This can be a mild interest, like finding it exciting if your sex partner stands up and gets off the bed to slowly remove all her clothes for you, or masturbates in front of you. It can also be a stronger kink where someone feels a strong need to incorporate it into their sex life or feels less satisfied by sex that doesn't include any watching or observing. Strongly related to voyeurism is exhibitionism, and the phenomenon of getting off on someone watching you, or even performing for them to watch. Although technically this is different or a counterpart to the dynamic, like dominant and submissive, or sadist and masochist, people may colloquially refer to both exhibitionism and voyeurism together as voyeurism. So is voyeurism wrong or bad? Although again, voyeurism can have connotations of being non-consensual. I'm thinking of like peeping Tom or peering through someone's window to watch them undress without their knowledge, or someone hacking a webcam to spy on someone. People can be, and most are, into voyeurism totally consensually and disgusted by the idea of non-consensual watching. It's important to remember that any kind of non-consensual activity, including watching, isn't really about sex and isn't a valid kink or sexual interest. It's about power, control, and really violation. With that said, both voyeurs and exhibitionists may sometimes fantasize about voyeuristic scenarios with more complex implications when it comes to consent. This isn't the same as actually harming anyone or violating their privacy. Fantasies aren't a direct printout of our sexual selves, and what turns us on is often taboo and not something we'd ever want to do in real life. Why do I or my partner like voyeurism? It's a good question, and there's no single answer. Like any sexual activity, even vanilla ones, 100 people who like the same activity might all like it for wildly different reasons. For some, voyeurism may feel exciting because it feels like it has an element of control. The person watching gets to remain totally calm, cool, and collected, and remain unseen if they wish to, or at least not the center of attention, while getting to experience something they enjoy, and the other person in the dynamic is more vulnerable. For others, voyeurism may feel like it's about security. They can stay safe and not worry about performance anxiety or what they look like, as long as they're primarily watching. Voyeurism can also feel flattering. Someone allowing you to watch them or even perform for you can feel like an intimate gift and like they trust you very, very deeply. What about exhibitionists? People who enjoy voyeurs watching them? Exhibitionism can feel sexy because it feels taboo or forbidden, especially for women who may have been cautioned against being too sexual or showing off their whole selves. It can also feel flattering and help us feel very desirable. Someone wanting to watch you closely and intently can feel very special and ego boosting. How can I bring voyeurism into my life in a healthy way? Although you may be all in on the concept of voyeurism, it can be less clear how you're actually supposed to do it. And I want to give you some ideas to get you started. As part of foreplay, ask your partner to masturbate in front of you. This can be really hot and have the added benefit of giving you more info about how they like to be touched. If you're partnered, ask your partner to send you photos or videos throughout the day when you're apart. If you and your partner are long distance, or even if one of you is on a trip or just over at their own apartment, you can try sex on video or FaceTime, asking the other person to strip for you, touch themselves, or use toys on camera. Try a voyeurism-based role play. Maybe your partner is the sexy neighbor across the courtyard that you've seen through her window, and the two of you are playing out the scenario of what happens when you can't take it anymore and finally come to knock on her door. Outside of a partner dynamic, some porn or adult entertainment hubs can provide amateur content that feels like it's providing an authentic window into someone's sex life that may feel satisfying. Live streaming platforms like Chatterbait will also let you watch someone perform live on camera. Hopefully, you got something out of today's topic all about voyeurism. And if you have any thoughts or comments, please don't feel shy or afraid to express your thoughts and feelings. And I try to do my best to respond. So I want to encourage you to do that. And if you think that someone in your life might benefit from this topic, then please share. And again, subscribe. And I hope to see you all next Thursday. And if there's a topic I've not covered, related to dating, relationships, sex, romance, all that good stuff, let me know. Take care, everyone. Big hugs. Bye.